Hey everyone, I hope you are all doing well during this interesting time right now. And there is a lot going on, but I do want to let everyone know of my Ancestry results. It's something that I wanted to do for a very long time. I went with 23andMe, and I guess it's called 23andMe because the human DNA is composed of 23 different pairs. And it's just an interesting process to, I guess, first to want to know about your genetic background and also kind of what you could potentially learn from this. I wanted to record my results and share it with everyone. So basically, if you've ever done it before, you pretty much register. I got mine from Groupon, and a box came, and you pretty much just have to spit into this plastic tube. You register it. You spit up to a certain line. I don't think I've ever had to purposely spit that much before. But you pretty much package it and you send it over, and you're supposed to get the results within 2 to 3 weeks, and I got mine within about a week and a half to 2 weeks. So here I am, I got my email, and I am ready to check out the results, and you will see the results with me. But before we begin, I kind of want to talk about why I'm doing this. As for those of you who don't know, I am Filipino, as much as I know from my parents and their parents. They are from the Philippines. But I guess, I don't know, I've always been told I have some unique look for whatever reason. I've been called Mexican, I've been called Brazilian, Costa Rican, Indonesian, Malaysian, just kind of like the full spectrum. And granted, I've had different looks before, but I've always been curious to see if there was something different, something kind of special that I didn't know about. And yeah, and I kind of Googled this too, and to check out my last name, which is Boswell, and I've looked it up, and there is a city in France, I believe, called Basel, and a city in Switzerland called Basel, and a city in France called Basel, spelled a little bit differently. And so I've always told people, I'm a little bit French, but I know that's never been really true. But maybe, I guess I'll find out right now. And I do live in Hawaii, and in Hawaii, well, my dad, he's Ilocano. He's from a province in the Philippines, and there's a lot of people from that province here in Hawaii. And so I've been to many places where I've seen people have told me, hey, I just met someone with your last name. Do you know XYZ with your same last name? And so it's like I've been meeting people, I've been really close to meeting people who have my same last name, so maybe I'm related to people around here that I just never knew about. And so kind of just something I've always wanted to do, and I think it's something that everyone should do if you're kind of interested in knowing a little bit more. So I have the email from 23andMe, and I'm going to check my results, and I will share my reaction with you. So I am clicking on the email over here. I log in to the site, and cool. So it looks like I have 3 things I could do. I could see my ancestry background, my health and traits, and my family and friends. I also do want to talk about, I went with 23andMe because there was a lot of connections. They said that you could really connect with people who you are potentially related to, and so I think I went with this among all the other ones because of the possibility of just connecting with other people who also took the DNA results too. So let's check it out. So I click on Ancestry, view your ancestry composition, and all right, so it tells me that I am 99.6 East Asian and Native American, and of that 99.6, 99.2 is from the Philippines, and specifically from the Ilocos region, where my dad, the province that my father is from, but also 0.4% Indonesian, Thai, Khmer, which is Cambodia, and Myanmar, which is modern day Burma. So that's something I never knew about. That's kind of cool. Well, that kind of explains why I like Thai food so much, or I guess you can't really tell specifically which ones, but there's also a 0.4% unassigned, which says that there's a wide range of human diversity in the world, and sometimes our algorithms are unable to match a region to that specific DNA. So I guess until more information is known, I have a 0.4% unknown complex. I'll take it. Maybe that's the European I was looking for. So it's cool. I think you can also go further and you can kind of dig into some of these regions. So let me click into Filipino. Let me see what it specifically tells me. And, oh, cool. So it looks like it brings up this map of the Philippines, and it's telling me the strongest parts of the regions of the Philippines that I'm most correlated with. Now, I know that my mother and father are specifically from Dugupan and from the Ilocos area. And so it's all in like bright golden yellow. So that means I'm definitely strongest from that region of all the 18 administrative regions of the Philippines. So I think that's pretty cool that it can just really tie you to that specific region of a country where your ancestors are from. So that's cool. Wow. I mean, you can probably take a lot from this. And I guess if you were a person that comes from different regions, maybe you can kind of dig further into that. But then mine is pretty straightforward, and no surprises there. I know my parents and their parents are, originally from this area. So not necessarily surprised, but I do want to see more about the Thai, Indonesian, Cambodian side. Let's see what it tells me. So for that 0.4%, it tells me that it just tells me it can't tell me anything further beyond that. But it looks like there's also a breakdown. There's this ancestry timeline, which kind of shows where those ancestors are from. And so it says from my first and second generation, those are definitely Filipino. But from my fifth, sixth, seventh, or eighth generation, that is where the Indonesian Thai person or ancestor comes from. And it looks like I most likely had someone within my third great-grandparent, fourth, fifth, sixth, or seventh, who was 100% Indonesian, Thai, Cambodian, or Burmese. And this person was born in between 1710 and 1830. So that's kind of cool. I think to even... I don't know anything beyond that. I don't know if it's my mother's side or father's side. So I think if I made my parents take this, I can probably see which side this individual comes from. So yeah, I can probably ask more questions about that. But cool. I mean, that's not something I particularly expected, but kind of cool to find out. So let's look into more. Let's look at the health and traits. Let's see specifically what this is about, and it's telling me that I have 37 report traits that they can tell me, and it looks like there's all these different qualities, and it tells me whether I'm highly likely or unlikely to have these. One of it is black hair, which I have black hair, detachable earlobes, and my earlobes are detachable. My eye color is most likely to be brown. My eyes are black brown. Flat feet. I do have flat feet, and so it says I am more likely to have flat feet. Fear of heights. It says I am probably average, which is probably around there depending on the situation. Hair texture is likely straight, and my hair is straight. No red hair. And wake up time, you are most likely to wake up around 8:20 a.m. That is not true. I wake up around 5 o'clock, 5:30. So skin pigmentation, I'm most likely to have darker skin. So you can tell I am fairly tanned. So yeah, I guess it's kind of cool. You kind of see some things that based off of my DNA I am most likely to be attributed with. And most of it seems fairly accurate, I guess. I believe there's also a health portion, so I didn't pay for this, but if you wanted to see what types of things you are most likely to be prone to get, high blood pressure, heart disease, liver issues, I think you could also pay more to find out about that. So let's go to friends and family. This is what I paid for. Let's see, you can look at DNA relatives list, and it tells me that on 23andMe, I have 1,215 relatives and 4 close relatives. So let me go into this closer. And basically, it's telling me that of everyone who has taken this exam or done this DNA exam, there is a list of all my second cousins, third cousins, fourth cousins, and the closest person here is a second cousin who, when I click on this cousin, is from London, England, and we are second cousins. Yeah. I'm not familiar with this name, but there is another person here who I am familiar with, and I have met this individual, and we are second cousins. So, yeah, I guess it's pretty cool how you can kind of tie that together. But if I really, oh yeah, it says our parents are from the exact same region, and that's true. And so, yeah, there is validity in these results. Oh, and I can also add a connection or send a message. So I guess if I really wanted to connect to specific individuals, I could DM them directly, direct message them directly, and probably build that relationship if I really wanted to. I can also create my own profile. I guess it looks like I can add my own profile, my own photo, and give a better description of myself if people want to connect also with me, if they're also willing to do the same thing. It looks like there's a map feature on here too. Let's see. So I click on map, and it shows me a map of the world and the number of results of people I am related to. So from the Philippines, it looks like I have 11 matches in the Philippines, a few in Singapore, all over the US, the UK. That person that I'm matched with as a second cousin is in the UK. And let me just check the Bay Area where I'm from, or where a lot of my family resides. And it looks like in San Francisco, I have 18 matches within San Francisco. So that's cool. And let me check Hawaii, where I currently live. And it's telling me on the island of Kauai, I have 2 relatives. In the island of Oahu, I have 30. In Maui, I have 2. And in the Big Island, I have 16. So I guess there probably is some validity with people that I met here with my same, or that I've heard live here with my same last name. And it actually goes, I wonder how close I can get. Yeah, so it just tells me that they live in my same city, but everyone in the island where I live in Oahu, we're all 4th cousins, so still pretty far from each other. So cool. I think that's kind of cool to kind of learn about yourself in a certain way. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth it, and it kind of puts a lot of theories to rest for the most part. But I do recommend that you do it, you check it out if you ever want to learn a little bit more about yourself. And I will put some videos and photos so you can kind of see exactly what I was looking at. So check it out. You don't have to go with a specific company that I went with, but it is cool to know a little bit more about yourself. Probably ask your family more questions. Probably more questions come out from this whole process, and talk to your parents or your family about it and let them know. So with that, I will leave you guys, and you just saw my reaction to my genealogy. So take care, everyone. Be safe, be careful, and aloha. Bye, guys.